Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So before I go to today's topic, if you are new to my YouTube channel, please like, share, subscribe. So let's go to the topic why I am doing this video. What is happening? I came across a video which I'm going to add the link here below about a woman who encountered rape with her family. Like, it's so serious that throughout the video she was crying, sharing her story. It took her years to be able to come out and say her story, what she went through, and she vowed because of that never to return back to her home country because of what she experienced. It was so horrible, so terrifying experience that even her own daughter, her 9 years old daughter that was violated, still wake up with that scream on her memory and everything. It's just so annoying. And recently we talked about Bisola Dakore, about the rape that she also the interview she did and the whole stuff. And then just few days after that, this lady came out also to share her own story. As in, what is going on? I think in Nigeria, it's when you have rape or one thing, you have to go to court, do lawyer investigation before the people are finally brought to book or something. But I still think something else can be done about it. Let's keep the country on a good record, not be say like every bad thing will just be labeling it on Nigeria and stuff because of the way things are going. We say no to rape. I stand against it. If you are not bold enough to call out somebody, to ask somebody out, and you think drugging that person or raping that person is the way out, there are consequences. As those people are going through pain, you that also do it, that did it, would also know no peace. So let's not think of rape and all those things. Just so annoying. And that is why I'm doing this video right now, because I'm going to add the woman own story so you guys will hear from her, all the experience and everything. If you watch it as a human being that have sympathy, you, in fact, if you are an emotional person, you start sharing tears for what she went through, for her to vow never to return back to where she came from. It was just something else. What is happening? I wanted my channel to be a channel where you call, you laugh, you have fun, but sometimes I can't help it but also bring other things that are happening, because these things are happening. We just have to be careful. I don't pray that anyone experienced it, but for those that have experienced it, it's the pain is forever, and it takes a lot of courage for them to be bold to come out and speak about it, because most people, they are afraid that if they come out, people will judge them, people will start using their eyes to look at them and say, oh, that lady was raped, oh, this is this is that. They'll start giving them bad names. So because of that, people are dying in silence. I came across a YouTuber who said that one woman, when like they came to her house, stole her stuff, and they raped her, and because of that rape she died, because she was afraid to tell people. She was afraid that nobody will believe her, people will judge her, people will think the worst of her and everything, to the extent that she ended up losing her own life. This is not the way forward. And when I thank God I did not experience it. I did not experience rape, but there was one time I was going to event, because then I was living with my elder sister, and so we have like driver who takes, like, we have driver, we have the bus, then our like private bus who take us and my sister's children to school, and we have like normal private car. So when we are going to party or something, the driver have to use that bus to drive us to party and event, because me and other kids, we are much. So sometimes maybe the parents, like my sister and her husband, is not going with us, and she just want me to be with the children while they go to like birthday parties and stuff. So one day we got ready for a birthday party. It was in Port Harcourt. This happened in Port Harcourt. We got ready for a birthday party. I went downstairs to call our driver. The driver was not there. I asked the security guy, where is our driver? He said, the security guy said the driver went to, there was one primary school there, not so far away from my house, but like 8 minutes walk, that the guy went to that side to relax. I said, okay. So I went upstairs and told my sister, they said the driver is not around. He said, okay, go and call the driver. I went to, and I was wearing white gown. I was wearing dressed up for the party. Everybody is ready, just waiting for the driver to take us, because my sister then had something and she couldn't go for the event. So she was like, okay, since you are the elder, let the driver carry you guys there to the party. He will stay with you people. When you finish, then he will bring you and the kids back. I said, okay. So I went to call the driver. When I got there, I didn't see the driver. On my way coming back, one guy from nowhere, because there was a little bush between, like, I would say 6 houses away from my house, because my house is like far, like 6 houses away. There was one little bush. So I was just walking on the road, and one guy jumped out of the bush, grabbed me, hold my neck like this, pull out my earring, and was forcing me, like he want to push me down to rape me. I was resisting. Then I fell. Immediately I fell on the floor. This guy tried to remove all my teeth. I was struggling with the white skirt I was wearing. I was struggling by all means. I said, Jesus, this is how I'm going, because then I was still a virgin, and the fear of me not giving my virginity to normal human being, then one idiot from one bush want to come and disvirgin me. The fear alone, I was just shouting, Jesus. I was crying. The guy was pressing my neck so that I would not scream, so I would not be able to scream. He was pressing my neck, was dragging me down, doing everything by all means to pull out my dress. We were struggling. I was still trying to shout, Jesus, help. Then in the process of that ongoing, somebody was coming from my direction, which I was coming from before this incident happened, and the guy heard the sound and ran away. That was how I was saved. And the guy came, saw me on the floor crying, my neck, finger. The guy finger was already on my neck and everywhere, because he was trying to strangle me, trying to rape me by all means. And the guy said, what happened? I know you now. I know your sister. I know your sister husband is my brother. It's like a brother to me. Have helped me a lot. What happened? I said, see, that somebody tried to rape me. Say, what? He just called people right now. Asked the guy made a call instantly and said that all the guys in that area should gather around and check for that guy. They searched for that guy for months. They could not find the guy. And me having those experiences in my thought, having it in my memory, even though it did not happen, but sometimes when I still remember, I'll be like, I said, what if I've been raped that day? When I finally got home, I could not believe my eyes, what I went through. And for days, that mark was on my neck, like black, fingers, fingernails and mark. It was all over my neck, like somebody they have beaten and designed. That was my worst encounter. And do you know the funny part of it? Years after, I was on there's this fast food like close to Mr. Beast in Port Harcourt, for those who live in Port Harcourt. Years after this incident, I've left Port Harcourt. I've gone to my university in Ghana. I was doing everything where, no longer the little 18 or 17 years old when this incident happened. I was already like 23 years or 24 years. That should be like 8 years or 7 years later. And then we went to fast food with my niece and nephew. And guess who I stumbled on? This same guy that tried to rape me was the same guy I stumbled on the street. And do you know the worst part of it? The guy could not even recognize me, but because of that thing is still in my memory, I recognized the guy so fast. And if you see how wretched this guy look now, I don't know if it's because of the way he tried to molest me or rape me that made him not to be so wretched. Like, if you see this guy, you will even pity his life. So what is the purpose of trying to rape people? The consequences, even if those people did not swear for you, those causes and that attempt to destroy somebody's life, that attempt alone is enough to destroy your own future. For people who think, oh, they can just rape somebody and go free, they can just do anything. When those people lay curse on you, even if they don't lay curse, that pain, that anger, that sorrow in them, that heartbreak, that awful experience alone, if they call to God, that experience alone is enough to make whosoever that did that thing to them, to make their life miserable and mystery on earth. They will be alive, they will be seeing it koro. Because at the end of the day, you've done it. Maybe you don't even recognize the person later or years back, but the person will still recognize you. Or you think, oh, I've done it now, nothing there, all those things. But at the end of the day, your conscience will judge you. God will judge you. Vengeance will speak on those people. So let me not talk too much. I don't want this video to be long because this lady own experience, just her own experience is like, I think like 8 minutes or so. Just have patience. I'm adding it to this video. Watch it to the end and let's see how we can, try to do something in Nigeria. I love my beloved country, Nigeria, not because it's like the best country, but I still think that there are ways that we can try to solve all these things from happening. Let's try to save that country, save the image. Let government do something about it. All this rape, this stealing, killing, something, it's just too much. Something have to be done. Something have to be done. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned, watch the woman own story. Maybe you might learn 1 or 2 things from there, and be careful on your ways when you travel home or something. Just be careful and do you. Please, if you are new to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like and share. I hope I was able to share a little bit of my experience with you guys, and hope, yeah. So if you find it interesting, like, share, comment. If not, you can still give it a thumb down. All is allowed. So once again, thank you for coming or stopping by to my YouTube channel. See you guys on my next video.
The driver felt the wagon's tires rupture and decided to park the car with the hope of changing the tires. It was like a film. In a GC, motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They fired at the boot of the car. Ahead of us, 5 of them came out of the bush. Another 2 came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest, hit my daughter on her head. Blood oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was hell. He went straight for my private part, tore my dress with his gun. The others ripped my dresses. I was left with my undies. My husband and my daughter started crying. 2 of them dug their teeth into my breasts. While attending a secondary school in Adamawa, I had lived with some Fulani, so I understood a few Fulani words. I started pleading, at least for my daughter. To my shock, at gunpoint, they removed the dress of my little girl. One of them carried her on his head as my baby struggled, shouting, "Daddy, Mommy, what's going on? Help me!" I could not help myself. We marched for 9 hours. I was half naked. My daughter was totally naked. Her tears was like a stream of blood on her cheeks. Our phones had been seized. We ended up in an ungoverned region in the thick of the forest. We met a well-organized group. There were some kidnapped victims. I saw 2 women, 2 ladies and 3 men. There were some people with their legs chained to trees. They were as if half dead. We were separated. I was separated from my husband. My daughter was taken away. I only heard her screaming intermittently. I did not know what they were doing to her. These men, now about 2 dozen, had a full kitchen. They had a huge camp and a traditional medical team. How can they say they don't know where these people are? How can they say that? But the camps appeared isolated from each other. We had noises afar indicating it might be nuclear settlements of camps. Right in my presence, I saw them pack the remains of a woman. They took her and buried her a few meters away from us. She had tribal marks. I cannot describe the agony of 6 days in captivity in this little piece. I cannot talk about how they asked my husband to choose between myself being raped or his daughter being raped. My husband broke down in uncontrollable tears. One of them hit him saying, "Yoruba bastard, you dey cry, idiot." They now gave him an option that he should be raped by one homosexual among them. My husband, a devout Muslim. My husband is a devout Muslim. He told them that homosexual and rape of any kind was against Islam. They hit him with the butt of AK-47. What do you know about Islam? You can imagine, you are being asked to choose between being raped by a homosexual, your daughter just 9 years old, or your wife being raped. They gave the 4th option. If you fail to choose one, we would rape your daughter, rape you, the man, and rape me, the wife. I made myself the sacrificial lamb. My husband begged, saying they should name any price. One of them asked him to bend down. 3 beastly criminals sat on his back, jumping until he was too weak to stand. I was not allowed to put on any additional clothes. Imagine they rape you all night and they stop you from putting on any clothes for 24 hours. The rain fell once. I became a relic at a sexual museum for the armed men, who in turn addressed me and asked questions about my financial standing. New Fulani men joined the camp. They organized military training for the new Fulani men that came, teaching them how to shoot and walk through circles of glowing fire. They were not released until after 6 days. We were not released until after 6 days. We had to walk the same zigzag journey back to the main road, our eyes blindfolded. During the negotiation to pay, they said the money was not for them alone, that they had to settle those who sent them. For me, I see a thriving organized crime supported by powerful political interests. Now, I do not think we were released to freedom after paying a whopping 8 million naira. I do not think we can ever be free. We can never be free from the anguish, the psychological trauma, the nightmares we suffered, the occasional fits of my daughter, her waking up at night behaving strangely, her asking the same question over and over, Mommy, why? And I do not have an answer. In my life, I have never passed through a torture chamber like this. I do not think any society should let this happen. I do not know the fate of those we met and about 7 other people brought during the 6 days we were in captivity. What I saw was a nation that has collapsed, but pretends she lives. A people on life support. Crime is not restricted to Fulani people alone. We have Yoruba criminals, but I don't think Yoruba criminals are this beastly. These elements are savages. I can't imagine Yoruba thieves going to Sokoto or Maiduguri to kidnap Fulani people and keep them in their own bushes. It gives me mental torture that this is happening, and some people are even trying to justify or look for excuses. Well, as a devout Muslim, myself and my family have taken solace in Allah. Not the Nigerian police, not the army, not the government. We have taken our faith the way it came, that this is supposed to be faith. I thank God that we successfully returned to where we live, thousands of miles from Nigeria. We thank God that we have made a vow. Never shall me, any of my children or husband in our lifetime visit Nigeria again. Our remains, anytime we die, will also not be buried in Nigeria. It was a suggestion my daughter made, which we all adopted. I pity the country. I pity her people who continuously walk like the living dead. I pity those who parade themselves as leaders because they know nothing about what is going on and the abyss the country is sunk already. I pity Yoruba people. Oh, I pity you. I pity my people. For me, the issue is not about President Buhari. Democracy can produce anything, even the worst in the society. What I worry about is the conspiracy of silence by the people themselves, the ignorance, the treachery, and the illusion that one day things will get better through another election. Since I was born in Nigeria, each year had led from bad to worse and on and on. I do not have a solution to what is going on, but I think very soon hell will let loose upon the earth as long as there is no law and order and anarchy and the rule of brutes in the order of the day. Once again, there can never be anything more comforting than my husband, who saw what I went through, but was able to encourage me, and even encourage me to write this little piece after months of agony and sociological imbalance. Good night, Nigerians.